What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, check it out, man. Virgil Ortiz. He's not playing no games. I tell you that right now. Virgil Ortiz, after this last fight against Vargas, he wants to step it up to the big dogs. That man called out Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. So, Virgil Ortiz, impressive fight against Vargas. He's ready to step it up. He doesn't want to waste any more time. He's ready to step it up. He's ready to fight the best at the welterweight division. Now, a while back, Virgil Ortiz said he would fight Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And he wasn't exactly calling those guys out, but what he was saying is that he would fight those guys. And, why not? I don't mind Virgil Ortiz saying he would fight those guys. Why shouldn't he be willing to fight those guys? But he's called out Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. Now, Danny Garcia, right now, he's locked up with a fight against Errol Spence, and with Errol Spence's conditioning and chin and everything else being in question because of the car accident, Danny Garcia sees this as probably an opportunity to capture a title. No way that a Virgil Ortiz fight will derail that. Keith Thurman, on the other hand, has nothing in front of him. Keith Thurman is begging for Errol Spence, begging for a Pacquiao rematch. Not entertaining fighting Terrence Crawford. Maybe it's something that Keith Thurman should entertain. Probably not. Probably Keith Thurman, risk over reward, wouldn't take that fight. I would like to see it. To be honest, I think Virgil Ortiz would have his hands full bothering with Keith once upon a time Thurman, because he's still, amongst the top guys. But Virgil Ortiz, fight looking to be next is Diaz, but Virgil doesn't want to fight Diaz, and Diaz wouldn't give names, but Virgil's made his preferences clear. After Thursday's bout, Ortiz 16-16 and 16 knockouts, called out Danny Garcia 36-2, 21 knockouts, and Keith Thurman 29-1 with 22 knockouts. Both who are no longer title holders, but still very much at the top of the welterweight division. They made the bridge too far for Virgil Ortiz at this point, but Diaz says his charge isn't posturing. He really means it. Look, he called them out, Diaz said. He wants to fight the best, For Virgil, it's not being cocky or arrogant like many others. Oh, I'll fight him. Just to put him out. He actually wants to compete. He wants to show the world. He wants to show himself. And if he can't beat them, you know what? That's how you make a great fighter. Before the end of the year, he'll be knocking very close on one of those doors. And, at some levels, I have to agree with Diaz there. Look, Virgil Ortiz, really, he's knocking on the doors now. Thurman should take that fight. He really has nothing smoking. But, when we take a look at this Ortiz and we take a look at this, Virgil Ortiz is sharp. He started off, kind of gauging the distance, and Vargas started off pretty well. And, as the fight went on, man, Virgil Ortiz just started to turn it up. But, let's take a look at Virgil Ortiz here. These solid faint head movements, like these solid faint head movements to the right and to the left. Guys, that's called getting off center line. Some guys come in and they stay right there. So Virgil comes in, he does his business, he gets back out, and he made these solid head movements to the right or to the left. That makes it hard to land any clean shots. So these subtle feint head movements are good. You don't have to be a wizard like Floyd Mayweather, but you see he just made Vargas miss twice there. Now, he's also doing a good job at keeping this distance. He's staying within range. You see he's able to have some power on those punches because of the range. Look, they showed him slow motion. Look at that. You see that? He's maintaining this distance good. He even tried to do a little lomo there and turn Vargas. And then in round 3, he starts to pour it on, guys. He starts to pour it on Vargas. Now, again, Vargas was doing good work, but that slight head movement. See that? Slight head movement. It's making Vargas miss. That's called getting off center line right there. It doesn't take a lot. Again, you don't have to be this super Floyd Mayweather to get out of the way. You just have to not leave your head right in front of that opponent after you throw in your shots. So Virgil Ortiz does a good job with that. But that distance, guys, he's not giving Vargas anything to make him comfortable, but he's making sure that he stays in distance where he can land his shots the way he needs to land his shot. He's utilizing his range and everything perfectly. This kid's ahead of the curve, man. Look at that. He's ahead of the curve. And he just starts to completely punish Vargas at this point. Just complete punishment. Look at this. He's planting his feet. And Vargas is a tough. Let me tell y'all something here too. Shout out, let's give it up to Vargas, because this guy is tough as nails. I mean, just look at Ortiz. He's pouring it on. You know, a lot of guys would have been out of there. And Virgil Ortiz hits hard. He's planting his feet on these shots. He's moving Vargas' whole body, but Vargas is not going down. So, guys, you got to give it to him. You know, he did tackle Virgil Ortiz there, but at the same time, I think that really could have been a knockdown there, because had he not tackled Virgil Ortiz, he was going down to the ground anyway. But, you know, shout out to Vargas for showing a lot of heart in this fight, guys. And to be perfectly honest, man, I'll tell you like this. Virgil Ortiz is the next golden boy superstar. I like Ryan Garcia. A lot of people do, but Virgil Ortiz can be that guy. They need to do something, his PR team, build his character and such, but Virgil Ortiz is the man. So just wanted to do this little gloves up video about Virgil Ortiz. He wants to see Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia he's not going to get. And I don't think he'll get it after the Spence fight, because I got Danny losing. I don't think Danny will risk it messing around with Virgil after losing to Errol Spence. Keith Thurman, interesting proposition. Will Keith, once upon a time, Thurman test those waters? Who knows? But I would love to see the fight. Anyway, just wanted to give y'all a little Virgil Ortiz, Vargas thoughts on that, and also the fact that I think Virgil is ready for Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman. I would love to see him fight either one of those guys. And this is what it's about. These young fighters putting it out there. You understand me? Fighting the best. The best. He already said he'd fight Crawford and Spence. And he's called out Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. Shout out to Virgil Ortiz. And y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.